On Instacart, I can shop a huge selection of pet supplies, from that one brush that scratches him just right, to that extra comfy bed he can't wait to flop down in. And I get everything delivered right to my door in as fast as 1 hour. Okay, settle down. I know it's here. Yes, very exciting. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get a free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
You've been waiting all year, and the moment is finally here. It's time to shop our biggest sale at Boll & Branch and start getting your best sleep in the softest sheets. I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. Right now, you can get 25% off our best-selling organic cotton sheets. They feel breathable, luxuriously soft, and get even softer with every wash. So hurry to bollandbranch.com for 25% off everything. That's BOLL and branch.com. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Showtime. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
Here's what I've noticed about the three-man booth. Now, I like it. When the three-man booth comes about, Jeff is so threatened.
Erroneous!
Jeff Lutz.
Do you know how many times I've felt threatened in my life? Every time we've done the three-man booth, minus every time we've done the three-man booth, and you've got your answer.
So never.
Never.
Nature versus nurture. Nature always wins.
And Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
This is a sports show. I'm looking up stuff. I just wanted to jump in and be part of the conversation, boys.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
It is going to be incredible. Wait for it. And I hope you're hungry because the second half of this word is edible. Incredible.
Welcome back, everyone. Hour number 2, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. Bob Lutz, Jeff Lutz, Jason Duda, the three-man booth on the day before Thanksgiving. We'll be out tomorrow and Friday. Jeff and Jason will be running this show from the East Studio.
I'll be
Monday through Wednesday of next week. So good luck to them. As I mentioned as we went to break, when we have a comedian on the show, as we did with Joe Gatto earlier today, it's my goal to make that comedian
laugh. You are
laugh.
desperate for it.
And I've been able to do that successfully 100% of the time.
Oh, of course.
That we've had
now
comedians
that is funny.
on the show. And certainly my toughest audience was Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Before we play this,
back in the day,
I want to know what you think comedians are supposed to do when you make a terrible joke. Obviously they're going to give you that little laugh.
Well, I don't think it's a little laugh. I think it's a genuine laugh, and that's
well. If you
how I
watch
hear
Impractical Jokers, Joe and Sal too, they laugh at pretty much everything, and they laugh uproariously. And that wasn't Joe's laugh. So.
Well, Joe got great humor, and here's the laughter that came from two of the all-time greats, Steve Martin and Martin Short.
All right, excellent. So, guys, how did this show come to be? And really the one question I had about it, because I've watched your Netflix special and it's hilarious, how much of this is planned and how much is just on-the-spot improv stuff?
Well, that's a hard question to answer because we do ad-lib things, but we don't over-ad-lib things because, we want to give the audience the absolute best show we can. And sometimes when you get off on an ad-lib, it's not quite successful. It may work, it may not, or something. So we're loose with the material, but we like to deliver the material first to make sure the audience is getting a good show. Is that too much of an answer? I think it is.
No, I love it.
It makes sense to me, although I was checking messages during it.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, Steve and Marty, I would like to know, you guys have known
messages during while I was speaking.
You guys have known each other for a long time, 35 years or so. And were you just sitting around one day and decided, why don't we just go out on the road together? You've known each other, you hang out together a lot. So did you really want to be together on the road?
Well, it was actually, we were asked to close the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Chicago. And just to interview each other. That's all we did. And no production, just two chairs. And it was successful. And it was one of the reasons, of course, it would dawn on us because we had a natural chemistry, enjoyed each other's company. So we did it again, and then that slowly evolved into more of an important show, a varied show.
Steve Martin, Marty Short, our guests. They'll be at the Hartman Arena on Wednesday, May 8th. We're thrilled to have them. I thought this would be, you've probably been asked every question in the world, so pardon the repetition. But of the two of...
honestly think the interview would be more fun than this?
Kinda. I'm checking messages right now, actually. Who is who is the more...
Well, there it is.
That was it.
Uproarious laughter from especially
Marty Short, and it was.
When you're a fellow comedian, you refer to each other by the informal name.
Oh, I mean, so embarrassing. I actually asked a question and got a little substance, and got Steve Martin to actually talk and perform and do what he does.
Bland
You're
as hell.
trying to be.
Here we have two.
You are not the show.
We have two world-class comedians. Steve, did you?
And you think it's open mic night?
Where'd you study literature? I mean, that stuff. What you do with comedians is you engage them.
Right. You talk about their craft, which is what I did.
And you try to get.
I was checking messages, right, Stevie? Ha ha, Marty, what do you got, bud?
Funny
Just
stuff.
So bad.
All right, let's go to our friend Jason Duda, who got tremendous entertainment from that.
I'm still waiting for the punchline.
I was checking messages. It was a play on him checking messages.
Yeah,
that he mentioned earlier in the interview.
Say that I think that was a. Yeah, I got to go with Jeff.
No,
on that.
Again, this is the lack.
I got to go with Jeff.
This is the lack of you two having any idea. Jeff thinks it's funny when he can change his voice and talk louder. That's
true.
So I'm going to feign disrespect to Steve Martin. Oh, buddy, he sort of chuckled. That's what you're hanging your hat on.
No, he fed me a line. I took it. That's what comedians do.
Awful.
He said, didn't you think this interview would be funnier? And that's mainly based on your question. When you made Steve Martin sound like the professor at Dartmouth College. I mean, your question
because I
did
asked him
nothing.
about comedy?
Yeah. Well,
hey, Steve, here's some of my material. Why don't you let me be the show, even though you're the most famous comedian who ever lived? Why don't you just...
Yeah, if I get a famous comedian, one of the most famous who ever lived, I'm going to try to get the comedy flowing. Not, what's your theory of comedy when you're
You really think you get the comedy flowing? They're hilarious on their own without you ever flowing. They've done it.
I flowed.
They did it long before you
There's
flowed.
No question I helped the comedy flow. And what you were a virtual dam.
The sad thing is
comedy.
you actually believe this. This isn't show fodder. You actually believe
you acted as a dam to the comedy.
That Steve
These
Martin
guys
was
are rolling
somehow
now. Time for
impressed
me to
by
ask
you.
a question about comedy theory.
About the show that they're bringing to Wichita. That was dumb.
All right. Anyway.
Who won that? If you guys are
I
did.
that little
Crushed
argument
him.
there.
Killed him.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. All right,
Absolutely murdered him.
all is good. All
Not
is
sure
good
why
with
he's
the Lutz
remained
is
on the air.
before Thanksgiving. Perfect. That's all I needed
This
to make sure.
father-son relationship needs help.
I heard Jake Rome or Logan Rome, I think.
And that was a suck-up interview. Logan, we're so glad to have you back from
And
Wisconsin.
I'm proud of you. And you're funny. And I was like,
Well,
how did that happen?
Because he sees him once a year. That would be if I saw you once a year.
He just
you're
went
the
to
greatest,
college 3 months ago.
You're the greatest son that ever lived. If you're living in New Brunswick,
Well, I may move to New
Fantastic
Brunswick.
maritime province.
isn't that's a great? You know what?
Fantastic.
It's a great place. Try to sell Jeff on that.
It's one of the Maritimes.
Yes,
Whatever that means.
That's what I said.
I mean, if you're dropping back in for Thanksgiving every year, we're having a wonderful time. We're going out and seeing the sights, and
No, we're not.
it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But I do a daily show with you. The novelty's worn off, friend.
Well, I get it, but
I mean, the Bob and Jeff show, yeah. How many years can you do it? I get asked that all the time.
yeah, I'm sure.
What's your answer to
You
that?
got to be getting close to retiring, guys. Is the next sentence, I assume.
I get asked that. When are you going to, sometimes the word finally retire.
How many more years can you do this? Your liver has to be failing is the second.
I don't get that one. Did you?
Because you're old.
Yeah, but your liver failing usually is caused by something else.
Yeah, I didn't get
Well,
that was a little
It
weak.
could be
That
caused
one,
by whatever I wanted.
that one I got to give to Bob.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't try that one with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Or would I?
That would have been tough. But anyway,
good try.
That's my all-time favorite interview.
It was great
that we've ever done on this show because of the enormity of the talent represented by those two men. And again, as I've told you a million times, I know you guys don't like hearing it, but I want to make those interviews lively. I want them to bounce.
But we don't need. We can step aside and they'll be lively. You understand?
Yeah,
you don't
I
need to
get
be the morning zoo host. Hey, top of the hour, we got Steve Martin in.
There
Martin
it is
Short.
again. Whenever he does that,
every time.
Yeah, the
Marty, how do you feel? Are you looking at messages, buddy? Here we go.
And that's all he's got.
It's his go-to.
He thinks that's funny.
It's his go-to. What do you mean it's my go-to?
That's all you
Changing
got.
the voice and
raise the voice and put a little weird accent in it, and boy,
that's what you think you want to be. So why don't you just be that?
I'm not that. I am a host of this show,
right?
Who tries to engage.
But you just put it on a tee for Steve Martin. He doesn't need you to pitch to him.
He asked a question. You guys probably think this interview is pretty boring, don't you? And I gave him a response.
No, he said
I was checking my messages. He appreciated that. You know what most hosts would have said, including you? Oh, no, Mr. Martin, we love the interview. We think you're doing great.
Yeah, but let's leave it to Bob to insult the best of all time.
I insulted he loved it.
No, he didn't. Oh, that was his reaction. Right, dudes? You act like he got a guffaw out of Steve Martin. That was it.
That kind of was it. I got to go with Jeff on this. Yeah,
it was more than a guffaw.
It was way less than a
guffaw. I appreciate this guy. He's got me on here. I fed him something, and he didn't just roll over like that other idiot.
I've done 2 billion interviews today. None of this is discernible from the last or the next.
I fed this line to the 8 other previous hosts, and they all gave me "Oh, we're just so glad to have you. We don't." And this host didn't give him that. This host gave him, you're right. I'm checking messages.
I'm checking messages.
Check messages for about the last 5 minutes of this segment.
What do you got?
I need him off for a while.
I'm just listening.
This is the final day of this show.
It's over?
Put it on your calendar.
Retire. We're all going to retire together? How exciting is that?
We are going to take a break because we're picking 9 games today.
9?
By the way, we've been nice to you today.
Why?
So far. Not mentioning your 1-7 weeks.
It's not after Thanksgiving yet. I'm not worried.
So we knew that's what he'd say.
Of course.
Keep digging the hole deeper.
I love it. I love having to dig out of that bad boy.
You've come back so many times in the past.
I know.
So when we come back, we will make picks. 5 games in the college ranks, 4 from the NFL. Pretty good NFL week. Some interesting games and some good ones in college football as well. Of course, with Ohio State, Michigan at the top of the list. Stay with us. The Bob and Jeff Show, KFH.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm giving up smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all funky. I'm going smokeless. Solo Stove Fix 5. They took out the smoke. Now you can have a nice blaze without any clouds ruining your day. Go smokeless. Go to solostove.com. Tell them Big Snoop Dogg sent you.
You're staring at the computer screen and have written, then deleted the same sentence over and over again. Your work needs to get done, but the writer's block is real. That's where the free Odyssey app can help, with thousands of podcasts to boost your mood, inspire you, and even teach you a thing or two. Jump into Glennon Doyle's We Can Do Hard Things, The Tony Kornheiser Show, and say more with Dr. Sheila, starring Amy Poehler. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening. Your favorite mood break, your Odyssey.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
We are here to make picks as we do each and every week. Normally we do this on Thursday, but because we don't have a show on Thanksgiving, we've moved up the picks a day, and we'll get right to it as soon as I can tell you where we currently stand.
Where do we currently stand? I'm curious.
Where we
in our picks. It takes things. There it is. We have now completed how many weeks? 13, I believe.
This is
might
week
be
13.
Week 13.
This is week 13.
Jeff still has the lead at 56 and 42. Max 54 and 44. Yours truly 53 and 45. Duda 41 and 57.
Oh, the second half's going to be unbelievable.
It's not half.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
way
After
beyond
Thanksgiving.
halves. Points. Bob 249. Jeff 246. Max 241. Duda 184.
Right where I want to be, boys. Oh,
Jeff, respond to that.
I can't wait. As soon as after this week of picks,
just a lot of
just everybody that's listening, just be prepared.
Just a lot of genuineness going on.
It's
on
not
the show today. You, him. Thank God for me being
Jeff
real.
And, Jeff and Max both 7-1 last week. I was 5-3.
What was I?
Duda 1-7.
Not bad. Not bad.
Here we go.
I got one.
College football ranks. Texas Tech at Texas. Always an interesting game. Final, of course, Big 12 matchup in the regular season for Texas. They are a 12.5-point home favorite. I'll start.
Wait a minute. I don't think that's what you sent us.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I'll say, you know, every time you do that, you're wrong.
No, not every time.
You would think that you'd learn.
Sometimes you're wrong.
12.5 is the number. I picked Texas to cover it begrudgingly because I'd like to see Texas Tech win. 3 points I'm putting on it. Jeff.
Why would you like to see Texas Tech?
I like Texas Tech.
What? Anyway, these picks are brought to you.
Coach.
These picks are brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and the official sports book of KFH. Texas hasn't really let me down yet this season. I may have picked them in the Red River Shootout, but I'll stick with them. Texas, 7.
Wow,
7?
Yes.
That's a lot of points and a lot of points.
A lot of points. A lot of points. Texas Tech, Texas. Oh, this is for the state of Texas. Texas Tech isn't going to get killed. They're not going to get blown
This
out
isn't
in
for
this
the state
game.
of Texas?
Oh, for sure it is.
Texas A&M
That's
is
what
the
they're
other.
thinking.
We
No
both
way.
picked Texas Tech.
No way.
He had the other argument.
I
Go.
got Texas Tech for 2.
Bold pick. Max.
Getting ridiculous.
Who did you take, Bob? Texas or Texas Tech?
Texas for 3.
Okay, I got that. All right. Well, 12.5's a lot. I don't know. Just for fun, I'll take Texas Tech for 1. See if they
All
can
right,
hold
Jeff,
it to
very
10.
confident. Next, we go to the state of Oregon. Big matchup, big rivalry. Final time they'll play, at least as Pac-12 members. Oregon at home against Oregon State. Oregon a 13.5, 13.5 points. They're the favorite. Jeff.
Yeah, this doesn't make a ton of sense to me because last week Oregon State was favored to beat Washington, who's undefeated, and beat Oregon.
They were home.
And now
That makes a big difference.
2 touchdown dogs to their rivals. And I
they're
think
at home. That's a big difference.
that's not that big of a difference. I've got Oregon State for 6.
There's one you can pick up on, Jeff. Duda?
Well, Oregon State's actually a pretty decent team. But I don't know if they can hang with them. I got Oregon for 1.
Thank you.
Max.
Oh, this is good. This has been classic. It's a lot of points, but I think the Ducks can run and pass on them. So I'll take the Ducks for 2.
Yeah, Jeff, very confident again. I don't know where
many
that
points in a rivalry game.
I don't know where that confidence is coming from. I like Oregon as well. I think they feel like they want to send a little bit of a parting shot.
Thank goodness Oregon State won't be trying either. That's good.
Oregon for 1. Next, let's go ahead and do Ohio State at Michigan. 11 o'clock Saturday morning, the biggest college football game of the weekend and maybe the season, given all the storylines that exist. Michigan at home, a 3.5-point favorite. Duda has to make this pick, and we get to react to him now.
Well, this should be a decent game. Ohio State, Michigan, 3.5 at home. Michigan, I just think with everything going on, they know this is the one they got to win. So I'm going to take Michigan for 4.
Michigan for 4. Max?
This ended up this way by accident, but Michigan's had so much going on, and I think Ohio State wants to walk into the big house and prove a point. So for some reason, I have Ohio State for 9.
Wow.
Go big or go home.
That's
Max.
Whoa.
All in on Ohio State.
Wow.
Michigan has won this game. Last year there was a similar anticipation, and they rolled the Buckeyes pretty easily. I don't know if that'll be the case this year, but I do like Michigan to cover that at home. Michigan for 5. Jeff.
Well, Max is speaking my language. It's just a different dialect. Ohio State, no. I'm sorry. I love the Buckeyes. You know how I feel. Michigan for 9.
Oh,
wow.
The boys are going at it on this game.
Wow. That could not, that's interesting. Iowa State, Farmageddon. They're in Manhattan to play the Cats. K-State has rolled everybody at home this year. They're unbeatable, it seems. You can't even compete with them. Kansas State, in this case, 10.5-point favorite over a pretty good Iowa State team, one that beat Kansas. We start with Max.
As Tim Fitzgerald told me, they score a ton of points at home, so I'm going to stay with K-State for 5 in this one.
K-State for 5. I also like K-State in this battle for 6. Fairly confident in the Wildcats at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Jeff.
Hard not to be confident in K-State at home. You know I'm not really an Iowa State believer, even though they're pesky. But I've got K-State for 8.
Jeff using up all his big points here in the college ranks.
Yep.
Duda, you have yet to really go big in the college ranks.
Still not gonna.
He's an NFL guy.
Still not gonna. I think Iowa State keeps this a little closer. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yes.
We got Iowa State for 5.
Low scoring.
There's a pick.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a shock to the world. Low scoring.
Low scoring?
24-14.
Wow. Kansas on the road to face the Bearcats. The Bearcats are neither bears nor cats this year.
Discuss.
They've been pretty bland. I start KU a 5.5-point road favorite. This to me is the easiest game on the board. Kansas for 9. Jeff.
I don't know if it's the easiest game on the board, but I do share your belief in Kansas only for 3.
You're going to regret that.
Probably.
Well,
Duda.
Here we go again. So I had a guy call, and I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, you know what? I listened to the show, and this is just like KU Pat. Please pick the other team so KU always wins. So, again, for KU fans,
well, that
take
didn't work for you Saturday.
I know, but KU yeah, I guess
what do you
it
care
did,
about
they didn't
KU
win.
fans?
Yeah,
Play to win.
Why don't you pick the game the way
I haven't picked them right all year anyway.
The way you see it.
All right, Cincinnati for 3.
You really see it like that?
Cincinnati for 3, Bob.
No,
So,
answer the question.
Cincinnati for 3.
You really think
At
Cincinnati going to cover?
They're going to cover. It's a 4-point game.
Oh my God! No wonder you're so bad at this. Max, what do you have?
Well,
And putting multiple points on it.
he may go 1 for 9 this week with that. Who knows? Yeah, I'll take KU for 3. I'm with Jeff and Bob on this.
Why the lack of?
You guys are so smart. You know it all.
Kansas, I'm thinking of actually putting some real money on that game.
Have at it. Go to FanDuel and do
I
it.
can't believe there's the apprehension.
It's not. I'm not apprehensive. I just don't feel as strongly about that one as I do some others.
It's just ridiculous in my view. Green Bay at Detroit as we head to the NFL. The Lions barely pulled one out on the road at home against Chicago. Now they're at home against Green Bay, a better team than Chicago, at least I think. Although in the NFL you never really know. Detroit's 7.5-point favorite. Jeff.
Tough one. This one I really don't feel strongly about at all. But I like what Green Bay did last week. They were tough. They hung in. And I'll take them for 2.
Green Bay for 2. Jason.
Yeah, getting that
hook.
That hook, 7 in the hook. Early morning game, Thanksgiving. Green Bay's not playing too bad. Division game, always tough. Take the points. Green Bay for 6.
Oh, no.
Love
Can
it.
I switch?
Max, you know who to pick now.
Yeah, the Lions, they always play really good on Thanksgiving no matter what. So I'm going with the Lions for 6. I don't trust Jordan Love.
I'm with Max. I think Detroit has a good game this week. They're a legitimate team. They're 8-2. Green Bay is not ready for primetime Thanksgiving morning football. Detroit for 4. Next, Jacksonville visiting Houston. A great AFC South battle. Houston's in the AFC, yeah. Jacksonville, a 1.5-point favorite on the road against the Texans team that's been hot. Jason Duda, can't wait to see how you pick this one.
Everybody's all over Houston. C.J. Stroud. Look, they should have lost that game to Arizona last week. Jacksonville got an eye-opener when San Francisco went in there 2 weeks ago and just destroyed them. Played well last week. This is Jacksonville all day for 7.
I love it.
Scratch.
On the text, I think on the text, Bob, you had Houston favored by 1.5.
Jacksonville is giving 1.5.
Okay, just on the text, you had Houston. That's okay.
Hold on.
Oh, Jeff's all over that.
Yeah, you did have Houston.
Oh, I made a mistake. I made a mistake.
No, because I actually thought.
Fool alert.
What's the spread really?
1.5 Jacksonville.
Yeah, Houston's been surprising. Stroud's been surprising, but I don't think they're ready for prime time. So I'm going to go with the Jags for 8.
What's all this not ready for prime time stuff? By the way, he picked Jacksonville for 8.
Well, that's a dumb pick. I mean, Max, not a good pick.
Smart, Max. Smart.
I don't know what the apprehension is for Houston. What are we wanting to see that we're not seeing? They've been fantastic.
I told you they could win a playoff game the other day, and you yelled at me.
They're so much better than Jacksonville. It's not even funny.
They're not.
Let me talk.
That's crazy.
Let me talk.
Go ahead.
It's my microphone.
Sorry, I was checking my messages.
Last time I checked, this was the Bob and Jeff show.
Oh,
Okay.
Jeff, that was good. I'm sorry.
Texans for 8.
Wow.
Whoa.
Jeff.
Mistakes are made every day on this
Goodness
show.
gracious. I don't know what to do now because I certainly don't want to go with that flawed logic. But the guy to my left has also picked Jacksonville. So this is really tough. I guess I'll go with what I wrote down originally, which is Jacksonville for 4.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Buffalo visiting the Eagles to play in Philadelphia. The Eagles, a 3.5-point favorite. Buffalo looked better. Philadelphia won at Kansas City, even though their offense didn't look tremendous. We start here with Max.
Buffalo has some issues. New coordinator. I'm going with the Eagles for 7 in this one.
Philadelphia for 7.
As much as Josh
That's
Allen.
exactly what I'm doing. I'm going with Philadelphia to cover that 3.5 for 7 points. Jeff.
Do we have any clean sweeps?
Sure we do.
Okay.
Maybe. No, we don't.
I didn't think so. So this one will be up to Jason, who does love Philadelphia, and I've got the Eagles for 5.
Well, we know who Jason's going to pick now because he's so woefully behind. He's got to try to take advantage here.
Look. It's not quite Thanksgiving, but this was a gift from you guys. You're all taking it for big points. I'm going to take the other side. I'm going to take 3 in the hook. They're going to be down by 10. Allen is going to run one in with about 40 seconds left. And then with my luck, they'll probably miss the extra point. But I'm still going Buffalo for 8.
Buffalo for 8. Jason Duda, 41-57 against the spread this year. A reminder.
Who do you take in the Jags game?
He took Jacksonville for 7. He saved his big ammunition.
Usually does. I don't get that.
He's going somebody for 9 in this next game, and I can't believe
you
that.
Both know who it is.
Kansas City visiting Las Vegas to play the Raiders, who have been better since they got rid of Josh McDaniels. No question about it. Yeah, they've been better.
I guess
they have.
We'll start with me. I like the Chiefs, but I don't like them for a ton of points this week. Only 2. Jeff.
I'm right there with you, essentially. I don't know what to think here. This easily could be a touchdown game, but I'll take Kansas City for a single point.
Confidence waning, although Duda's got to go 9 for somebody.
Many points.
I don't know how. Oh, my God.
Too many points.
Is it the hook?
It's nothing to do with the hook. It's the offense for Kansas City.
Have you seen the offense for Las Vegas?
Yeah, but they don't need to put up that many points because Kansas City receivers can't catch a ball. There's a lot of issues going on there.
The Chiefs will score 24 or more.
Oh, when's the last time they've scored 24?
But they haven't. Listen, you're picking Las Vegas for 9.
I am.
Again.
And I actually feel really good about it.
Jason Duda, 41-57 against the spread for the year.
Well, he has won 41, so he runs into
That's
some
true.
occasionally.
Take that.
Me, 53-45, and I'm only in 3rd place. Jeff, 56-42. Max, 54-44. So these 3 other guys, excuse me if we kind of look with disdain.
Well, we know
you.
Max is picking not the Chiefs either.
Exactly.
Max, who you picking?
Antonio Pierce has them playing better. Expect somebody to hit him. Raiders for 4. The Bernard Pollard revenge is coming.
That'll end up costing Max the championship. His utter hatred for the Chiefs.
Oh, man, I can't wait till next week.
Well, that's
I'll
what
be
you
on
said
fire.
last week.
No, it's after Thanksgiving next week. You guys are all in trouble.
So do these picks count because they'll be played after Thanksgiving, mostly?
I'll let you know.
After Thanksgiving.
I'll let you know next week.
Yeah. we can't wait to hear how you defend these picks. Hey, you're due for a good week. No doubt about it. I don't see you having one with those picks, but you never know.
I think they're pretty solid.
You and I are different on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 9 games.
Wow.
Feeling pretty good about yourself right now?
I have proven myself making picks over the years. Yes, I do feel good about myself.
Well, that's good.
KU with a 69-60 win for Kansas over Tennessee in the 3rd place game out in Hawaii. Samuel L. Jackson watched the game, obviously, and tweeted, "Damn, this Dickinson guy," I'll use guy instead of what he said, "on KU Hoops flops like he's on a soccer pitch."
We can imagine what Samuel L. Jackson might have used.
Samuel L.
Instead
Jackson
of guy.
weighing in on Kansas basketball.
Yeah, I'm thinking he used a different word.
He did, one I can't say on radio.
13 letters, and it's...
So his 8.9 million followers were subjected to that tweet. But KU comes out 2-1. Now the championship game coming up in a half hour or so, and that's kind of must watch. Oh my goodness, I forgot all about.
What?
You don't. I had a guest lined up for 3:40, And we all dropped the ball, in my opinion.
We all did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you and I
Sorry
knew
about
about it.
that.
I apologize to whoever it was, although I had no idea.
Well, I dropped the ball.
It happens.
And, I put it out on Twitter. And it wouldn't hurt if those of you who are on Twitter, I'm pointing a finger at Jeff and Max, back me up.
Yeah, good job.
That's all.
My fault.
I'll take the bulk of the blame.
How about you take all of it?
Yeah,
Just
that was
No,
probably
you know what?
a
I'm not
better
going
way
to
to
take
do it.
all of it.
Who booked the guest?
Who's the producer and
wants to-
engineer?
Who wants to take all the credit
Who's
when
your
something
co-host?
goes well?
Pass the buck in a hurry sometimes.
Who's the co-host?
Not me.
Well, this is what you get when you say I'm the straw and I'm the guy and I'm the leader and it's the Bob and Jeff show and
But it's the Bob show, and you guys are just here.
yeah.
We'll see how you
when
do next week.
So when something goes wrong, Bob's name's on it.
We'll see how you guys do next week
We'll do
without me.
fine.
Here's Anthony Capra.
Yeah.
Cap, what do you think of the Raiders?
I wonder if he could come in for the whole 2 hours.
For the ninth time. No offense to Cap, but this is on you guys. Cap, you pitched in the big leagues.
That's crazy that we talk about the Raiders once every month or so. That has never happened on the show before. When people just bring up the Raiders
give
for no
the guy
reason.
a little bit more.
Just saying, you're complaining about the Raiders.
What level of frustration do you have? And I apologize, by the way, to Derek Tuttle, the head football coach at Andover Central. And I'm going to spend the next 4 minutes talking about high school football playoffs because Saturday promises to be incredible with the matchups that we have, including Andover Central representing our area in the 4A title game against St. Thomas Aquinas. Certainly a big challenge. In 6A, you've got Derby facing Gardner Edgerton. Certainly another big challenge. In 5A, Cape and Mount Carmel goes to play Mill Valley, which has won multiple state championships. Cape and trying to win its first in 37 years. Good luck to Weston Schartz and Cape and Mount Carmel. And in 3A, Cheney headed over to Hutch to face an unbeaten Topeka Hayden team, just as Cheney is. We've also got Conway Springs in the 1A title game. Who are they playing, Jeff? Here we are again.
This is how this goes.
How does it go?
I'm not going to check, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make somebody else look bad.
At what point does Tony Dusing, our program director, listen to the show and just ultimately say, I got to give these 2 hours just to Bob?
If he wants to,
he did send a
destroy
text.
the time slot. Jefferson County North.
All right, good deal. Conway Springs, also from our area. And then if you want to count Hoisington in Class 2A, we can certainly do that as well.
You know what the game of the week might be? Probably not. But Cunningham and Cheyenne and 6-man.
That's a guy that has his name on a radio show. I mean, even the people in Cunningham are going, what?
Yeah, they probably are because Cheyenne very likely
Where is Cheyenne?
Hammer them. It's over by Claflin.
Fool alert. Fool alert. Cheyenne's up in Bird City, which is in the very northwest corner of the state of Kansas.
One city in another city.
Here we go, Twin Cities.
It's not a city. It's a school.
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne County.
Yeah.
And Lincoln County. Cheyenne.
Bird City.
Bird City, Cheyenne.
Yeah, duh.
Fool alert. Fool. Max, you gotta have your finger on that button. Fool alert. By the way, the NFL games tomorrow and Friday will be here on KFH.
Huge.
That is the text for now from our program director, Tony Dusing. I would look for another text shortly after the show goes off the air that says, Bob, I really don't think you need a co-host.
So where are you going to be Monday?
Yeah, so you got the show then next week?
When I'm gone, yeah, you guys can come in.
Thanks. I'll look forward to the Bob Show Thursday. What a train wreck.
You know, the Bob Show Thursday, I'll call Steve Martin and Marty Short and get them on.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they just can't wait for
why
that
not?
call.
I might give Sam Jackson a call.
Good.
Well, then he better have his finger on the button for that
You
one.
going to get Bob De Niro on the show?
Bob De Niro.
De Niro,
The
you
former
idiot.
Phillies outfielder, Bob Dernier.
Yeah,
no, I
him.
don't have any interest in him.
Okay.
Get Tim Raines on the show.
Have a good Thanksgiving, both of you. I hope that everyone who listens to this show knows that most of it is in jest. Some of it is hard to ingest, but
Trust
we
me.
try our best. We'll see y'all Monday. Jeff and Duda will be here. Have a great Thanksgiving.